everyone, this is Jackie Williams and welcome to another video. In this video, I want to just make a cute little window card with you. And for this one, I'm going to feature the Let's Set Sail bundle. I always love the bundles that have punches just for really easy, quick projects. And also I love that this one is really good for general cards, for masculine cards, for baby cards, or just for anyone who enjoys a nautical theme. So let's go to my work desk and let's make our window card. So this is the card that I want to share with you this evening. It's a fun little window card, I think suitable for really anyone, and you could change up the colors to make your recipient happiest. And we've got this cute little porthole feature on the front, which opens up, and then we have our little boat scene, and then we open up again to have a place for your writing. To create the base, we're going to start with a piece of basic white, and actually this one I'm going to orient in a different way, and we'll just see how that turns out. So for my card base, I have 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can, of course, adjust that to suit you. I just make it that size so that whether you're using letter size cardstock or A4 size cardstock, you can make this size without having to think. And then you have a piece that sits over the top that is 4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then what I've done here is I laid them together so that it was an even mat on each side, and then I ran that through my die cutter using my layering circles dies. I really recommend that everyone have the layering circles dies. There's just no way you can cut a circle, without a die or a punch, and this just gives you a nice selection. So I've used the die that is approximately 2 1/2 inches across. It might be a little bit smaller than that, but approximately. And that will cut through both layers. You might need to run it through twice. Okay, then, now I didn't adhere them. I just laid it there. You could use a little piece of washi tape or something if you need to. Then I've taken this piece and put that through the stripes embossing folder. Now this one comes in a pack of 2 with one that's called Splatters, and it's got this great little kind of like watermark look to it. And but this one just gives you some quite distressed stripes and almost looks like a wood grain, kind of in a fun way. So those can go ahead and be adhered together. Now if you find that they don't quite fit, you may have inadvertently turned it over when you were doing the embossing. So just flip it around and see if it fits the other way. Because you've cut them together, you should then still have like an even mat around the 4 sides. For the inside of the card, I have actually a second card. This is so that we can do our stamping and things here, and then you can do your writing, and your writing isn't going to show through your circle. And also, between avoiding the circle and all the stamping on this piece, you wouldn't really have much room to write. So this way, you've got just that little bit more room. So this piece here is about 8 inches by about 5 1/4 inches. You can adjust that to be a little bit smaller if you find that it needs to be a little bit smaller, and then fold it in half. Now before we start stamping on this piece, I want to just adhere my porthole onto the front piece, and I have chosen to use Coastal Cabana. You could use a different color. Now for this one, what I did was run through the same size circle that I've used for the front, and then one that was 2 sizes larger. So this larger one's about 3 inches. So you end up with about a 1/4 inch ring, basically like this. And you could make it a little bit thinner or a little bit wider depending on which tools you have and your preferences. So we're just going to adhere that over that window opening. And then we're going to use our really great metallic dots. And there are gold ones here, but I happen to have used all of them for a scrapbook layout that I'm doing or teaching at the moment. And then we're just going to add some of these to imitate little screw holes or nail holes or whatever they use. So I found it was best to do the north, west, east, and south. There we go. I love how that looks, and I love the copper with that Bermuda Bay. All right, now I'm going to set this aside, or just place that over here. Now on this piece, we want to add our sea and our boat. So I'm going to add the sea first, and I'm going to grab my stamp mat and my grid paper. So actually I want to just kind of gauge about where that sea is going to land. So I want it to be about here. And actually, I just realized I never showed you the bundle. So this is the punch, and then this is the stamp set. And I love how, well, not only does it coordinate with the punch, but I love how there's this sort of stripe and distressed detail on the sails, and actually on the boat, and on this piece, which we're going to use for the ocean. I just think it's such a fun look. So you can, of course, use this bundle with the punch or without the punch, depending on what you're making. So I'm going to guess it's about right there. Now I have stamped that in Granny Apple Green, which is a great companion to the Coastal Cabana that I have on the front. Okay, there we go. And you can see, we just see a little bit of that ocean on the outside of our card. Now we want to add our boat, and I'm going to stamp the sails first, and I used Puppy Parade on the first sample that I did. I'm going to just try something different and use pumpkin pie. Now what I recommend that you do is just have a look at your punch, and you'll want to stamp your sails the same way that they are going in the punch. So you see how this one's going like that? So you want to just imitate that when you stamp it. And I like how there's the light and the dark, and I just love the stripes in there. I'm not sure why they appeal so much, but I think they're just so much fun. All right, and then we're just going to punch those out. And with our punches, you'll want to use them upside down like this so that you can see and get them perfectly lined up. Now I've done the same thing with the boat. I've stamped it in basic gray on basic gray, and then punch that out. So I recommend you adhere your boat first. And I'm just going to put him on flat because he's quite skinny. I think it would be quite difficult to get him on with dimensionals. And you can choose to have the bottom of your boat straight, and then your mast will be at an angle, or you can have the bottom of the boat on an angle and your mast be straight. Either way looks fine because it'll be like it's moving in the ocean. And then I'm using my mini dimensionals for these. You could put these on flat too, but I quite like to have something up on dimensionals on my projects. Okay, then this one's going to sit on the left-hand side, and then this other one will sit on the right-hand side. There we go. And then now we just need a little sun. So what I've done is I've used another circle die, and I punched that, or cut that out with So Saffron. And then I used this same stamp that we used for the water in So Saffron on So Saffron, just to give the sun a little bit of a texture. I had it on without a texture first, and with the water and the boat and the sails all having that kind of look, it just looked a little bit out of place to have it not have something on it. Okay, then when we open this up, I think I'm just going to add some of the little birds that are in this stamp set and do those in basic gray. And I'm going to have them kind of, whoops, I've already touched down, so I've got to carry on with that. And I just have them some on the sun and some off the sun. And then we've got this great stamp that's like the little shadow of the boat that I'll just put underneath. So that looks quite cool. You could do another layer of green or even take the green all the way down. You could even use like several colors of green so that you've got this gorgeous ombre look running down the card. In fact, I might do that after this video. All right, then our next thing will be to add the words. Then I've taken the words from this set, the ones that say, hope it's your best day ever, and I've white embossed those on basic gray. And I'm just going to put those up here on the corner. I'm just deciding, I think I like it all the way to the edge. And I've just given it a little angle on the one side so that it's not too frilly or girly, and it could be quite suitable for anyone of any age or any gender. So that's the portrait version. I quite like that, and I really like that orange. And then here's again the horizontal version with the Poppy Parade sails this time. I like both of those. All right, let's look at a few other samples. So this one is using the New Horizons papers, and very simple card. I literally did this card in about 3 minutes. Just stamped the words from the New Horizons stamp set, and I did use my Stamparatus so that I could stamp it 2 or 3 times, because when you're stamping on designer series paper, sometimes the ink on the paper actually doesn't take the ink from the ink pad very well, so you might want to consider that. And then just use the print that was already there, and then just tore some pieces down here at the bottom of more of a dark blue print so that my boat had something to sit on, and just did the boat all in black. And the sails I embossed with that painted textures folder so that it looked a little bit crinkly, like it was in the wind. Okay, and then inside just brought that paper through again. Then here's another sample, just a fun little, probably more like a little, a small child's card perhaps, or someone who does sailing. And just wanted to showcase the stamps really. And the clouds in the background are from the Cloud Punch, which is a great companion if you have this set. And again, used my Stamparatus so that I could stamp on the clouds and the, the background. So I could stamp it a couple times to make sure that I got a really good image there, and then just brought the same images through to the front. And then here's another one that I shared in another video, and this is using the Abstract Beauty pre-printed cards. So already this yellow background was already there, and just used literally the punches out of designer series paper and the black, the Abstract Beauty paper, and then just added a few little hexagons and some words. So just really quick and easy. A great way to use your leftover little bits from the punch. And then this card, and this card, and this card are all part of my Let's Set Sail online class, which I just have a very few of the kits left. So you can access the videos only, or you can have the videos and the kits. So I've got the link below this video if you would like to check that out. So I'll just show you some masking technique on this one, and making a slimline card here, also another masking technique, and creating these waves out of die cuts. And then this really fun fold card is also included. And the thing I particularly like about this one is that all the stamping is done on smoky slate, which I don't often think about stamping on colored paper, but it works actually quite well, particularly for masculine cards, or maybe for more serious cards like sympathy cards. And I like that the sails are actually the white element in this project. So there you go. I hope that gives you some really great ideas for using your Let's Set Sail bundle, and also a really fun idea creating a window card, maybe with some of the other images that you own. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them below. And if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends too. And subscribe, so I'll see you on the next video. I'll catch you next time. This is Jackie Williams. Bye-bye.